Welcome gang, it's Denise and this is Pose of the Week, and this is actually a two-part request from Carrie. Carrie wants to have some help with Utthita Hasta Padangustasana, but the revolved version, and she's concerned about eyes, like how can she get her eyes to look behind her and not fall over. Okay, but for me, this has a lot to do with connecting to your core. So I'm going to just go for Utthita Hasta Padangustasana, regular version first, okay? Because we need to set up our foot to core sequence. Okay, so let's have me standing up. I'm going to stand on my right foot first. And I'm just going to take the weight away from my left foot. So I want to make sure that on my right foot, I have my toes splayed and rooted down. And of course, my foot it's facing straight forward. I'm not, no matter how much I'm tempted, I'm not going to let my foot turn out. We have to be super strong with ourselves here. So root down, and then I want to create that energization as though I'm pulling my toes back a little bit. Now, just a little bit. I'm not trying to make my foot short. I'm just trying to keep it super active and my arch lifted. And that is only going to feel good if I am not locked at the knee. If I lock my knee, I'm going to feel really quite a lot of tension at the knee joint. So I have to have it unlocked. So my foot's rooting, my arch is lifting, my knee is unlocked. And now I'm dialing my energy outward as though I want to spin my foot out, but I'm not going to do that because what's happening is that's taking up the slack in my hip joint. It's going to make my hip joint nice and stable. Okay, so that's the foot to core sequence. I want to get my foot active, arch lifted, knee unlocked, dial that energy out, activating my leg from my hip externally. And that actually helps me tap into this inseam of my leg too, and right up to the pelvic floor and on up the front seam of my body, right in front of my spine is basically where that energy is going. So that's a good setup. And then I can take up my opposite leg and I'm going to feel so rooted and solid here in my standing leg. So if part of your Utthita Hasta issue is, getting the hand to the foot, you could just use a strap. I like doing this to get my shoulders aligned over my hips. And I want to have my chest lifted, my crown lifted, and I can just keep a really loose band here. This just gives me a chance to straighten my leg and keep rooting down into my foot. Okay, so that's sort of iteration one. This is a really nice place to practice. If you're super unsteady, you could use the wall, but what we want to first of all establish is the foot to core. Okay, so I'm going to go on to my other leg and give you another variation. So spreading my toes, rooting down into them, I engage through the arch of my foot, unlock my knee, set up my hip, stabilization with external rotation, and now I'm feeling my inseam to my pelvic floor and up. It works every time, no kidding you guys. So now I'm ready to lift my other leg. I can take the strap around my foot and maybe I'm going to shorten that strap right up this time. So I want to once again connect with that foot to core, and once I stay tall through the crown of my head, keep my shoulders balanced over my hips, I don't want to kind of collapse out of that. I don't want this happening or this happening or this happening. See how I'm lifting my hip? This would be quite a natural thing. See how it unbalances me? So what we want to make sure is we're staying long through the waist on both sides, okay? So there's actually an external rotation happening at my lifted leg too. Okay, so Carrie, that's step one. Let's get organized from foot to core. And then you can play with sending your foot out. You can eventually use your hand or catch your great toe. Shoulders stay balanced over hips, okay? Very, very basic Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. Practice that first. Now, okay, use those principles and I'm going to take you into your revolved version, okay? Stay tuned, Carrie. I'll see you next week for that one, okay? Bye for now.